Hey folks, it is currently 20 past 5 a.m. in Ireland. I have not slept, and I have just noticed in one of my videos, which was the first attempt at age-old question, I said something wrong, actually. And so I decided to delete it and redo it. Yay. I'm half asleep. Let's hope I can actually get this right. Okay, the age-old question is the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Now, looking at an unstoppable force, an unstoppable force is, as it says, an unstoppable force. It could be anything. It could be anywhere. We don't know. Now, theoretically, an unstoppable force can't actually exist, and neither can an immovable object, for that matter. But we are taking it as they exist. Okay. So, enough of the theoretical bit. An unstoppable force could be anything. Anything. No, a black hole is more of an immovable object. Well, it's not actually. It's not an object. Anyway, so yeah, an unstoppable force is just that, an unstoppable force. I know I didn't really explain it much, but if you look it up, Wikipedia, force paradox, you should get it. Let's now describe a immovable object. Yay. This is where I fucked up last time. An immovable object is an object. Let's define an object first. An object must have a foundation. Now, a foundation can be described. A foundation describes something that could be landmass. Something that is landmass. Let me put it this way. If it has to be an immovable object, it would have to have some quite amazing foundations. Let's put it that way. So, the immovable object is immovable. You cannot move it as it is. As it is. An immovable object, while is immovable, has a weakness. That would be what it sits on. Now, if you take away the land, because honestly, if we actually look at this logically, it's the unstoppable force being on one side, and we've got the immovable object and the ground as, well, you get what I mean. It's 2 versus 1 here. So, we've got to remove something. Remove the ground. That's silly. That doesn't make any sense. I'll put it to you this way. An unstoppable force, when it meets the immovable object. Now, we are talking about powers that are titanic here. That makes it sound like the ship. Fuck that. Yeah, we are dealing with godlike powers here. An unstoppable force meets an immovable object. This is supposedly a paradox. The power is huge. When they collide, the amount of, well, energy, yeah, I suppose it would be energy, or just raw power that would be vented from that clash, from that collision, would in fact crumble the ground, the foundation of the object. Now, it would. no matter what way I look at it, yeah, that is what would happen. The two powers literally collide, and the energy slash power slash heat or whatever that's generated from it could in fact break or crumble the ground or foundation of the immovable object, and suddenly the immovable object doesn't become it isn't immovable anymore. Let me get that right. The unstoppable force meets the immovable object. When they collide, power is generated, breaks the ground of the immovable object. Immovable object becomes spacebound. Yep, I've got that right. Hopefully. If I miss something in this video, I'm gonna go mental. Oh, I'm so fucking tired. My brain isn't overload. It's actually calming down, but that's a better thing. Yeah, so that's the unstoppable force meets the immovable object. So much for it being a paradox. Now, I know that they'll say, but that would mean that the object wasn't immovable in the first place. But for it to be immovable, it has to have something to sit on. If it is an immovable object, it has to sit on something to be immovable. It can't just sit there. Because if, like, say it sat in space, there's nothing for it to sit on. So as soon as the unstoppable force hits it, the immovable object suddenly becomes movable and is moving through space. Yep, that sounds about right. Yeah, that's just it. I hope this helps better understand something in your life. Redoing this video, I hope it actually means something. Sorry, throat. But anyway, that's that. Have a good night, have a good morning or good day, whatever your time zone. See ya.